Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with the penultimate episode of Bond by Bond for you. I decided to do some frat boy decor and put some Funk Eye up in the background. Hope y'all like them. We got Grey Worm, Elf Dwight, Pennywise, Batfleck, Deadpool, and Dancing Groot. I will pick up Pennywise, but then y'all see my drawers. Anyway, today I'm talking about the Pierce Brosnan era of the James Bond films. It's important to point out that after the big disappointment of the Timothy Dalton movies, that Bond was pretty much dead in the water, man. There was new franchises come along every day, and nobody really cared. And then 1995 rolled around, and I gotta say, as a young guy who was just starting to get to James Bond around the time this movie came out, I was stoked. You know, the trailer was cool. Pierce Brosnan looked like James Bond. I do remember my dad I didn't know anything about the actor, but I knew my dad hated his show, Remington Steele, which I to this day have never seen an episode of. and it also had the benefit of having maybe the most successful video game movie tie-in of all time, James Bond, GoldenEye, James Bond OO7, which I had a copy of. I've never been into first-person shooters, but people loved that fucking game. It was huge, huge hit. And the movie comes out, and it's also a huge hit. He got Bond popular again, man. It was a big blockbuster, even though I've never really been a fan of the film. I think it's a slow movie. But you gotta credit the inclusion of the villains from top to bottom. Sean Bean made him a star. Famke Johnson made her a star. Damn, maybe one of my top 5 favorite Bond babes. I haven't really done that. I haven't really judged my favorite Bond babes over the years. Probably my top ones, as far as just performance-wise from the actresses and memorable characters, as well as my probably favorite is Jane Seymour, a Solitaire. And I love Famke Janssen in GoldenEye. I can never remember her character's name. But I also gotta say I loved the girl, I love Domino in Thunderball, another great character. But other than that, there's of course Ursula. It's, the Bond babe is a thing because of her. It's not just oh, you're the girl in the James Bond movie. It's these weird, off-the-wall characters, just as wacky and creative as the villains themselves. There's some prestige in being a Bond babe. And the women and the people, the feminists, or whatever they are, feminazis, who look down on that kind of shit, are just the kind of people who are looking to take the fun out of everything anyway. So, take that for what you will. I don't give a shit. Their inclusion, trying to make these kind of folk happy, is kind of what ruined the Dalton films. So GoldenEye comes out, and like I said, Sean Bean, Famke Janssen, and Alan Cumming were all good villains. Great small performance from Robbie Coleman? Oh fuck, what was his name? The guy, the Hagrid from Harry Potter, and Minnie Driver in just a small scene. A couple years before she became an Oscar nominee, and a bit of a star for a short while. She never really caught on, box office wise. I thought she was a good actress. She looked great in a wet T-shirt and hard rain. I'm just getting a little piggy in this video now, aren't I? Anyhow. Decent villains, memorable theme song by Tina Turner, big epic climax, and a huge box office, and a hit video game. So Bond was back in full swing, and to their credit, they knocked those James Bond movies out in the 90s, man. They didn't have them as to the wall, like they did in the Connery days, like one a year for a while there in the 60s. But yeah, man, they like as soon as the Bond movie came out, they were right on board working on that next one, not wasting time. They took the advantage of the success. And then 1997 rolls around, and Tomorrow Never Dies comes out, and no bullshit, this isn't just Pierce Brosnan's best James Bond. This is one of my favorite James Bond movies. I've always really enjoyed Tomorrow Never Dies. It's a very fun movie. You got a great villain in Jonathan Pryce doing some classic Bond shit. Just a big rich big rich fucking mogul or some shit like that. Just wants to use his power to take over the world because why the fuck not? That's a Bond villain. You got two memorable Bond babes, Michelle Yeoh playing a legit badass Bond babe because of course she is. She's Michelle Yeoh, and Terry Hatcher playing a very sympathetic character. Like I said in my last one of my videos on this series, is that it's a Bond movie rule. The first Bond babe has to die. You go through them. This is a thing. So of course she's the one that gets killed by a terrific small villain performance by Vincent Chevalier, who's always been a good actor. And like I said, Terry Hatcher is a very, very sympathetic role, very strong performance, and another good Bond theme song from Sheryl Crow. But at the same time, this is where you're seeing kind of the cracks. Bond kind of seemed to lean more into the Indiana Jones, John McClane style of action scenes where he's by the climax of Tomorrow Never Dies, he's damn near just walking around without his shoes. But it's still a very, very entertaining movie. Now that brings us to The World Is Not Enough. It's important to point out this movie did make money. It was unfortunately competing at the box office with Toy Story 2. And it had the unfortunate performance of Denise Richards as, I believe her character's name was Dr. Christmas Jones. This is, you will, and probably have, found better acting in pornography. And, the actual scenes of trying to read dialogue and shit. It's more believable than the shit she does. It's a bad performance. And this is where the leaning into the James Bond, making John more like McClane and Indiana Jones really got a little too heavy-handed. Robert Carlyle is pretty cool as the villain. I think Sophie Marceau was the other Bond girl. Well, she's really the main villain. She's not the major Bond villain. It's kind of a decent twist. Halfway through, you find out she's the real main puller of the strings. And it's either... These two actors always got mixed up, but now I can't remember the other one's name. But, I always get she was the villain in GoldenEye, the villain, the spy chick who warns Truman in the Truman Show, and the princess that wants to bang William Wallace in Braveheart. There's two actresses between those three performances. I can never remember who's who. And also the chick in Fear.com and Reign of Fire, if you even want to remember those movies. Hey, I liked Reign of Fire. But anyhow, that's moving on. I'm getting phone calls, but I'm shooting this video. I'm getting through it. Sorry. Anyhow, and also, theme song from The World Is Not Enough. I will give it credit. Decent theme song from Garbage. I like Garbage. I've always been a fan of theirs. They had two theme songs that year. One for The World Is Not Enough and one for the film Big Daddy. They're both decent, alright. And then we get to Die Another Day, which would be the final Pierce Brosnan film. Now, it's silly, it's stupid, it's uber repetitive, and considering it came out the same year as, Batman, Two Towers, Attack of the Clones, and Chamber of Secrets, the visual effects are very, very dated in this movie. And also, considering this also the same year as movies like, The Bourne The Bourne Identity, and Triple X. This wasn't even the best spy movie of the year. But we've definitely killed Brosnan's streak of decent theme songs when we have the Madonna theme song. That was atrocious. Halle Berry was decent, and Rosamund Pike were both good. Once again, we don't kill off the first Bond babe, but the first Bond babe becomes a villain. It's kind of a twist, but that's so wacky about this movie. The villains. I loved all the villain shit. We have an actual ice palace. A palace in the middle of like the fucking Antarctic with laser beam to melt the ice so they can drown James Bond. Oh my god. And he parasails to escape. It's great. It's so awful, it's fucking great. But I like the villains. One guy got diamonds from an explosion early in the film with Bond stuck in his face, and, and like ice face, whatever you want to call him. It's a cool villain. And there's Toby Stevens, who is the son of some Asian warlord, who is used some kind of technology to make himself look like a British aristocrat in his mid-20s. And it's great. It's so wacky. And of course he puts on some kind of Iron Man suit to fight James Bond in the climax. It is so fucking stupid. But I love Die Another Day. I think it's the only one of Brosnan's I got. But it's kind of the worst one, but for all the wrong reasons. You know, I love the bad shit about it. Overall, though, the problem with the Brosnan era was Brosnan wasn't the movie star Sean Connery was, and didn't have the command of the character Roger Moore did. He did his best, and he did play Bond as a piece of shit. But during the era of the Brosnan movies, I just always felt there was all this hype, and the movies at the time were kind of meh. But I've grown a lot of appreciation for, I've always liked Tomorrow Never Dies, but I've gotten a lot of appreciation for Die Another Day just because of all the silliness of it over the years. But I still think, I didn't even tell you that I didn't like Goldeneye. I've never liked Goldeneye. It's just bad and slow. Well, I did say it was slow. But I've never liked Goldeneye, and I don't ever have to see Tomorrow Never Dies again. I mean, The World Is Not Enough again. I mentioned that Robert Carlyle's villain is there's a bullet stuck in his brain. Instead of just dying, he just can't feel pain. So, oh man, they got crazy. You thought the fucking Roger Moore movies were wacky. They're just stunted by trying they seem dated because you look at them back at them now, but those Brosnan movies are the most ridiculous of the franchise. Well, next time I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to try to do the final Bond by Bond before I see Daniel Craig wrap it all up for himself. We'll see how about where Bond goes from there. Do you even really need to do more James Bond movies, or do you just want to wrap it up in a nice, crisp 25 films from Ian Broccoli franchise? We'll see. But next up is Daniel Craig movies. Oh boy. And yeah, once again, it's there's shit to say, good and the bad. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis. Don't lose your shit, and I'll catch you on the fly.